Hi, everybody. My name's Nathan Lloyd. I'm from Olympus. I'm a product manager at Olympus. And this is pretty awesome because we're here at Photo Plus 2017. We wanted to jump on camera with you this morning because we had a really great product announcement yesterday. We announced some new F1.2 Pro lenses. This was the perfect opportunity for us to sit down and talk to you about it for a little while because all this stuff is going on. So we are in New York City at the Jacob Javits Center. We're talking about Photo Plus 2017. We have this big, beautiful new booth, and we're going to be here today, tomorrow, and Saturday. We're in booth 337. We have all these things going on. It's even better that I'm here because I have two of my favorite photographers with me today. I have US-based Olympus visionary Tracy McCloskey.
Thanks, Nate.
And I have UK-based from Europe Olympus ambassador Gavin Hoey.
Hello.
And they're helping us here today because they are doing all these really, really great things inside the booth. If you come down and check us out here at Photo Plus, you're going to get to see all this new gear, including the new F1.2 Pro lenses. But even better, we get to hear a lot of workshops and discussions, including these guys. Tracy, what are you going to talk about while we're here this week?
So this week I am focused on maternity and showing the movement of gowns and the capturing with the 45 lenses, with the 45 lens, and I'll also be using the 25 and some of the 17 Pros, F1.2s. So I'm excited to show that on the stage, and my presentation will be pretty quick and pretty flowing. So I'm excited. Come see me in the booth. I can't wait to see you all.
This stuff is awesome. It's exciting. You know what? There's nothing better than when you're sitting in the audience and Tracy has a live model on the stage and she's doing all these really cool things, and then you see it come out just exactly right on the screen. So it's always a lot of fun. Gavin, then you're coming right up and you're going to be doing some really cool stuff on stage. What's some of the things you're going to talk about?
So I'm going to be doing creative portraits in tight spaces. So my studio at home is a real tight space, so it's perfect for a stage demo. Okay. We're going to be doing some stuff with a little bit of smoke. We're going to be doing a little bit of a themed portrait shoot. I'm going to be doing things to give people inspiration for how they can use the Olympus equipment in their real-world environments. That's kind of the idea behind it. I'm going to be using the F1.2 25mm lens. I know.
That's cool.
With some high-speed sync. So we're going to do high-speed sync to get that sort of shallow depth of field look with the F1.2 lens. It's going to be great.
Fantastic. That's really cool. This is as live as it gets. We're still doing some last minute touch-ups around the booth. So if somebody walks in front of a camera or something, that's what's going on. We just set up and started to broadcast live as quick as we could. Let's get into the main reason why we wanted to talk to you today. We have some really cool new lenses. We just announced them yesterday. I'm going to bend down here and I'm going to pick up a couple of lenses. Because yesterday we announced a brand new 17mm F1.2 Pro lens. This is a 34mm equivalent lens. We also came out with a brand new 45mm F1.2 Pro lens, which is a 90mm equivalent. Now these two are perfect companions to the 25mm F1.2, which has been out for some time. So we have this awesome family of F1.2 Pro lenses, and these two are the perfect people for me to discuss some of the main features and benefits of these lenses. Before we get into some of those features, we want to give you an opportunity to ask a question to us today. I've got the experts right here with me, so it's the perfect time. If you have an opportunity, post a comment, and then at the end of the broadcast, we'll be sure to pick up some of those and answer those questions right here on camera with you. Okay? Cool. So I'm going to put a couple of these down because I don't need to hold all of them now. In fact, even better, Tracy, here, I'll give you the 45. Gavin, there's the 17.
Thank you.
I'll keep the 25 here in my hand. No, I mixed it up.
But don't worry about it, it's live. Okay, no, but no,
Well,
yeah, you still haven't got the...
But I want that back.
No, I'm keeping the 45, that's it. I've got it.
All right, so I've got the 17 right here in my hand. First thing that I'm going to talk about on these lenses, the amazing sharpness that you're going to get wide open at F1.2. You know, when we sat down with our engineers at Olympus and we learned about the amazing optics that are inside of these lenses, we all had pretty good knowledge that when you're talking about an F1.2 Pro lens, something like this, often you have to stop down a bit before you get any kind of sharpness out of the lens. It's not always very easy to use, it's not easy to do. And who wants to do that when you do have that big, bright f1.2 aperture, you want to use it. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Do you get sharpness at f1.2 with this lens?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
How do you tend to use that in your own shooting?
So the 25 f1.2 for me is perfect in our studio for newborn sessions because I want to be close to baby, but I still want that beautiful fall off of focus. I want to have sharpness on the face, but I want the back side to fall off. Adding the 45 f1.2 has been amazing because it is my go-to portraiture lens. It's the perfect focal distance, and it is sharp every time, every single time at f1.2.
I mean, we love to talk about the quality of the optics at Olympus with our M.Zuiko lenses. Our engineers are unbelievable. The magic that they perform in some of these designs. These f1.2 lenses have the highest resolution of the Pro lenses in the whole Pro lens lineup. And it does it all at that nice, bright f1.2 aperture all the way through the aperture range. So you get a lot of great performance. Gavin, will you shoot wide open today at f1.2?
Yeah, I had the 45mm for a couple of days,
okay.
And I only used it at f1.2. I mean, that's where you get an f1.2 lens, is you're going to use it at f1.2. And it was fabulous, it really was. I didn't want to give it back, so I might be returning to the UK with this lens.
No. Oh, we've got a whole list of everything that's here. We'll make sure that we don't lose any of it. And we do it a very unfair thing. A lot of times when we're coming out with a brand new product, we'll give a couple to Tracy and we'll give a couple of those products to Gavin, and then we say, try it out, and then we scoop them back.
After we fall in love with them.
That's how it works.
So if our number one point is sharpness, that is by far the most important message that we can carry today. The second thing that I'd like to talk about, though, is the bokeh, the beautiful background effects that you're going to get out of these f1.2 Pro lenses. There's a couple of ways that you can do background effects. We see them in our own lens lineup. I think a lot of times people are used to seeing beautiful bokeh, and you see a more traditional style, the style where you have nice shapes that are blurred in the background. So you have those points of light kind of with a hard edge around it, those halos of light. Yep. And that's a more traditional solid type of bokeh. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful style of bokeh, but sometimes you don't want all of those shapes. You don't want that distraction in the back of your subject. Because after all, the main point of the subjects of having portraits is a beautiful, sharp subject.
Correct.
So Olympus engineers said, you know what, we can do it better. We can give extra options to people that are using these types of lenses. And they came up with a design that creates something called feathered bokeh. Now, that's becoming more and more of a common term. But what we're trying to do is achieve the smoothest defocusing from the focused area back to the defocused area, how smooth we can make that transition. And these lenses do it fantastic.
Yes, they do.
What do you see when you use the 45?
Just the background falling off so gently and so naturally doesn't lead a distracting background for people to draw their eye away from the subject. So you're looking at the subject and you're seeing a sharp subject and your eye is not drawn back to the background, which should be a part of the image, but it shouldn't be the subject of the image.
Okay, that makes sense. Do you find that there's particular times when you can use feathered bokeh versus maybe a more solid type of bokeh in your own work?
Yeah, so my brief experience with this was on the streets of Manhattan.
Okay.
And the separation it gave was absolutely beautiful. So we had some lovely bokeh in the background. The technical stuff aside,
yes.
it just looked great. It really did.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
absolutely gorgeous. And that's the thing, is when you actually get hold of it and you use it and you find that, yes, you have a lovely separation. Mm-hmm. It has the bokehs there, you can see the rings.
To your images.
It really added some depth to the shots.
Yes.
And I was quite blown away. I'm hard to impress with tech. It's kind of like, it's just got to do the job. But I did sit there going through the images going, oh wow, no, that's great. No, that's better. That's even better. It was terrific. I loved it.
So when we were working with our engineers, we said, well, feathered bokeh is great, but what happens when we have our photographers that want the more traditional, solid-looking bokeh? What do we do then? And they said, no, you don't understand, because these lenses do both. So you can shoot wide open at f1.2, and you're going to get amazing feathered bokeh. But if you're looking for a little bit of a different style bokeh in the background, you you go ahead and you stop it down to F2.0, and suddenly you're bringing back that solid, that more traditional style of bokeh. You get both.
Yeah, you can.
So you have complete control over the type of images that you're creating
Yes.
in your studio or outside.
Yep,
Yeah,
very
I do.
true. Yes.
So before we go to the next one, the next point that I want to bring up about these lenses, just to bring it back, we are at Photo Plus 2017. We're in the Jacob Javits Center. We're here today, tomorrow, and Saturday. I know it's a long way, but if you're in the area, please come and see us because we have so many things to see and do in this beautiful booth. I have Tracy and I have Gavin here and other speakers that we're going to be doing some really great workshops and discussions on how to use the newest Olympus gear. The reason that we're here today is because we just announced some incredible new F1.2 Pro lenses yesterday. We now have a beautiful family of F1.2 primes. We have the 17,
Aren't
we have
they
the
cute?
25, and we have the 45. It leads me to start to talk about a couple of more points. So one thing is the ease of use. We already talked about, hey, you pull it out, you use it at F1.2, very easy to use.
Yes.
Is it quick to focus?
Lightning fast.
Lightning fast?
As fast as you could ever imagine.
Didn't even notice it was
No.
instant. You don't even think about it. It's just.
But I thought
Right.
usually whenever you had a really bright prime, sometimes it takes a while to learn how to use it. You have to do special settings, you have to customize your camera.
There was one. I had to switch on the face detection to really nail a 1.2 to get the shallow depth of field on the 45. I switched on face detection,
And that helped.
and that helped
Nail.
enormously to actually nail the in focus on the eyes.
Yes.
It was worked really well.
Yes.
So Olympus tried really hard to make sure that these lenses were easy to use. You're going to pick it up, you're going to put it on your camera, probably the OMD EM1 Mark II flagship,
Yes.
put it onto that camera, and the thing just works. You don't have to learn how to use it. Your success rate is going to be over the top.
Absolutely.
Every single shot
Yes.
is going to be one that you want, one
Yes.
that you want to keep. There is a single lightweight focusing mechanism inside this lens, and all three of them, actually. That makes these lenses incredibly fast to focus. They're very fast and they're very accurate. So it's just easy to use. Another point that I bring up about these lenses, when we're looking at all three of them here together, I mean, are these big lenses?
No.
No, they are not.
Olympus is always talking about how compact and how lightweight the gear is. It's true, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
super portable. It's perfect.
We could juggle them, but I think we might get in trouble.
Be my guest.
No,
No.
I was hoping you would do that.
I'm live. Yeah, I'm not live streaming juggling. We'll do that one later.
So lightweight, compact, weatherproof. These are weatherproof lenses. They're the perfect match
They
for,
really are.
for a weatherproof OMD body.
Yes.
So if you have that new EM1 Mark II and you're looking for the perfect companion, this would do it.
Yeah.
Tracy, you're a big proponent, and so are you, Gavin, about talking about how your gear should never be in the way.
Right.
The gear is the last thing that you want between you and the subject or the thing that you're trying to shoot.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, does that help you in your work?
Oh my goodness. Well, at a wedding, you can't be worried about whether or not it's going to start sprinkling or raining while you're out shooting. I mean, that's something I never want to have to think about. I want to be able to go with my clients wherever we need to go and do what I need to do without worrying that I'm going to wreck my gear. So these are, I call them, this is my new trilogy. You can call it the triple threat, whatever you want, but these will definitely be in my bag. The only thing that I noticed was that they're so similar in size that I'll pull out the 45 and think it's a 25 or vice versa.
Yeah.
So I definitely have to look at the numbers. They're all very
Yeah.
similar.
They're nice and big print for
Which,
us.
They
which
really
actually,
are.
I believe they actually increased the font size
Oh, for the
just to make
over-focus?
sure that you'd be able to
That's
pick
the
this
truth.
up.
Bless,
Yes.
that's a
Really
good
quick.
idea, yeah.
Yep. But
So-
they're all amazing.
Do you enjoy the lightweight gear when
Yeah.
you use the gear in your own work?
I'd say my wife enjoys it as much as I do because she ends up carrying my stuff.
How nice.
Yeah, I know. I'm super lucky. So yeah, the lightweight does. Traveling, flying over from the UK. Last time I came to New York, my camera bag was my camera equipment because I was using a different system. That's all I bought, was just a carry-on camera. Now I bought the camera, the lenses, plus a bunch of other stuff in my carry-on. It was much, much more convenient, comfortable, practical. Yeah, it's great. Love it.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So I think we've covered a lot of topics about these lenses. We're very excited about these lenses. We're now up to 9 M.Zuiko Pro lenses in the family. The range is fantastic. And if you factor in the MC14 teleconverter that you can pair with some of those Pro lenses, we are stretching the whole way up to 840 millimeters of equivalency in one lens line. All small, all compact, all easy to use, all with fantastic optics. So we think that this family is really amazing. I'd like to take a look at a couple of questions. We've done a great job, I think, discussing some of the benefits of these lenses. Before we do, I'll go ahead and remind you that these were just announced yesterday. So as far as availability goes, you'll be able to get the new 45 millimeter F1.2 Pro right around the end of November. So it's coming up really fast for 30 days out. And then the 17 will be available right around the end of January. So they're coming at a great time of year, all of these lenses. Do you think that somebody would want all three in their kit?
I can see some photographers, well, yeah, some photographers want absolutely everything. As a portrait photographer, I want the 45.
You're taking the 45.
I really, really want the 45.
All right,
have I made that clear? I think I've got that over. Yeah.
So these will be available online and in store at those times that I mentioned. Tune in to getolympus.com if you have additional questions, you want to see all the specs, the things about these lenses that we'll definitely cover and talk about. So I'm going to go ahead, let me take a look at my phone here. What are some of these things that we can ask? Gavin, question for you.
Yes, far away.
You haven't had very much time with the new lenses. Was there a particular thing that was your favorite part about shooting with the F1.2 when you had it?
With F1.2, yeah, the F1.2 bit. I mean, that's why you get an F1.2. You get an F1.2 to work it at F1.2. And it was terrific. Having the extra reach on the 45 just made it different. I like the 25.
Okay.
I've had that for a long time. But the 45mm gave a much shallower depth of field. It made me step back a little bit, which adds a bit more compression, and the bokeh in the background was just that much more enhanced.
Okay.
Yeah, it was great.
Tracy, we've been on video before. We were on video together. We were on video together for the M1 Mark II.
Yes.
And at that time, you had an opportunity to use a 25mm. Mm-hmm. And you said to me, Nathan, this is my favorite lens, this 25mm f1.2 lens. You said, I go everywhere with it.
Yeah,
I use it all the time. Okay, is it still your favorite?
So this is a hard question because you know I love the 25. Anyone who follows my work knows it's my favorite lens. But when I got the 45, I kind of had to have a conversation with the 25 about how we were going to share time because I love both lenses. I do love the compression added by the 45. I think it is a beautiful portrait lens. But the 25 will not be replaced for me for my newborn portraits because I do need the closeness to the subject. For that, just for safety and things like that. And it produces the same beautiful background fall off, and I can't answer that.
Okay, so it's good to just have all three. Of course,
yes,
that's what we all want.
I want all three. Because the 17 can't be talked down for environmental portraits, right? So if I'm somewhere where I want to see everything around me, I want to see the landscape or the structures around me, I'm going to want to use the 17 for my environmental portrait.
So as a wedding photographer, are you going to find the 17 more useful because you need that kind of wider view? So
sure.
For my studio work, I'm going to find the 45 more
Yes,
useful.
absolutely. So the 17 is that on the go, when you're doing that environment, you want to have what's around you. You're going to want the 17 for those kinds of portraits. So
Cool.
I need all three. Sorry,
That
guys.
works. Okay, fair enough. Oh, and believe me, she'll be calling our office saying, where are my lenses? I guess you got to get something out of this relationship.
I guess.
All right, we'll try.
Besides Facebook Living, I mean, this is so fun.
Surely this is reward enough.
I have a question here. I have an EM1 Mark II. I love the camera. Is this a lens that would pair well with the body? This is an easy question to ask. I'll give my own thoughts about it. One, the fact that these are part of the Pro family, so they work great, of course, with all the OMD bodies, but certainly with the M1 Mark II is a very good one to have. They're both weatherproof, so again, you take it outside, you don't have to worry about your gear. Very robust metal construction, so they're perfectly balanced. I think they have a great size and weight balance.
Yes.
Very easy to manage, very easy to hold and shoot. You never feel like your lens is overpowering your body or the balance of your grip.
Right.
Agreed?
Correct. Absolutely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
I tried it with and without grip, and I felt it was fine both ways.
Both ways.
Yes,
They
absolutely.
work perfectly. Okay, great. Last question I have here. I do already have the 25mm f1.2. What are some of the shooting situations where I might want to use the 17 or the 45? We already started to talk about that a little bit. Kind of as a final wrap up, what would you say, okay, if I was going to buy the 17, this one's great for this. If I was going to buy the 45, this one's great for this.
Should I go first? Yeah, okay.
Perfect.
So most of my stuff's in a studio environment, so I tend to use fairly fixed dimensions. And the 25 was great. I love the 25, but sometimes with the 25 you're a little bit closer to your subject.
Okay.
The background will appear that much sort of wider than you want. The 45 means that you're going to step back. It equates to a 90mm, which is a portrait lens.
Okay.
It was always my kind of perfect focal length.
Okay.
So I find this is going to be perfect for anyone that's going to do sort of portrait type, studio type work, headshot kind of work. That's the uses I'm going to get out of this lens.
Perfect. Makes sense.
Definitely,
for me.
like even like all of them, right? Great in low light. So if you're a wedding photographer and you're doing reception portraits and you need a wide shot of a beautiful ceiling when the dance is happening, or if you're trying to get, you know, closer up shots of the table, but you don't want to use the 45 or the 17, so you can bring in the 25. There are so many applications for each of them. And the great thing is that at F1.2, you can shoot anywhere with these lenses and not worry about whether or not you can get enough light.
Awesome.
That's very true. It is quite a versatile lens to allow you to shoot in weird lighting conditions
Yes.
where some of the smaller aperture lenses don't allow you to do.
Yes.
I can see that
It
being used
works.
for sort of concert photography, that kind of low light environment.
Yes.
Certainly the 17 for that is going to be great.
Absolutely.
We're coming right up at the end. I can't thank you enough for tuning in, for joining us. We had a lot of fun. It's a good start to the show. Again, we're at PPE in New York City at the Javits Center. Great booth. We're going to be here today, tomorrow, and Saturday. Come down and see us. We have a shooting booth right in the front where you can try out these F1.2 lenses. Other than that, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're going to have some really great stuff there. We want you to be able to check out more information about these lenses, or go to getolympus.com. And you'll even see Tracy, I think, on that 45mm page.
Oh, that's right.
Because we had a little video with Tracy in it, so you can see her there. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
Have a wonderful day.
Take care.
Bye.